I have 10 minutes to talk to you about some really cool books that I've read in the past. Let's get started. A lot of these have recency bias because I really need to go back in my Notion list to figure out what I read in 2023 and 2024 that's worth talking about. But last year I read The Phoenix Thing by Aparna Verma. I absolutely love this. I absolutely love this. South Asian inspired stories, fantasy and sci-fi, political warfare, political commentary, enemies to lovers, yearning, real life yearning, some Indian cinema, Indian culture references, and just vibes in the book. Think firebending meets sci-fi metal men. Are we feeling it? Are we feeling it? Are we not feeling it? You let me know, but I absolutely love this one. This book gives you 3 POVs. The first one is of King Leo, the king of the Ravani kingdom. The next one is his daughter, Princess Elena. And the third one is Yusin, who is her bodyguard, but also an ex rebel group assassin kind of guy. I think this one right now is honestly at the top of South Asian authored sci-fi fantasy books. And by that, I mean authors who try and bring a bit more of the South Asian flavor and culture into the book specifically. And the next one is Will White's Unsold. This is part of the overall Cradle series, a 12-book series of a progression fantasy, which honestly, as of book 8, has taken my socks off, put them in the washer, forgotten them in there, put them in the dryer, has that wet dog smell, put them back in the washer, put some Dettol in there, spun around, washed them real good, dried it real good, put it back on my feet, and then took them off again. That's how great this series is so far. So far. I've only read up to book 8, have not read 9 through 12. It is a 12-book series, like I said. This book is amazing. It follows Wei Shi Linden of the Sacred Valley and his quest to become one of the most powerful martial artists of ever. But his motivation is he was shown a vision at the beginning of this book that his home, the Sacred Valley, is going to eventually be wiped out by monsters and creatures he could never fathom. And he asked this being that showed him the future, how do I get stronger in order to avoid this? And she said, well, you have like a 0.1% chance of even living that long to be able to get to this point to save them. But if you want to, go find this girl. Her name is Yeren. She's the sword mage's disciple, and leave the Sacred Valley. And he does. And his entire world opens up. My entire world opened up. And I think this is top 3, if not top 5 progression fantasies ever. It is fast paced, action packed, never a moment to sit down. And you're always, always, always progressing. Always progressing with Wei Shi Linden. We're talking about progression fantasy. I got to tell you about Ironbound. Okay, I got to tell you about Ironbound. Ironbound to me is one of my most recent favorites. It's a 5-star read of last year from Andrew Givler. This is his second series. His first one is called Soul Fraud. This one, honestly, I finished this in a day, and I will be rereading it probably here in May, once again, right before book 2 comes out, because it is just that good. It is progression fantasy. Think of like Will of the Many right there. Think of Will of the Many and how it's like Roman inspired and military and hierarchical, but where Will the Many was much heavier on the epic fantasy, um, political commentary, and social commentary. This one's much heavier on the fighting, the magic systems, the progression side of it, that kind of stuff. And I kid you not, I have yet to meet somebody. This is no meme. I'm not being facetious. I'm not lying to you. I promise to you. I have not met a single person who has not liked this book. And I've looked at videos on Book Talk, BookTube, Bookstagram. I chat with the author like every now and then. Andrew's a cool guy. I have not met someone who hasn't liked this book. Some people love it like me, but I have not met someone who hasn't liked this book. And that's how good it is. The way the system in this world works is you have this like alien metal that's like crashed onto the world, and the inhabitants of this world harvest this material called core, C-O-R. They're able to imbue people with the magic of this core heart, and then you can then bond the magic in your core heart to a specific type of element, type of material. So, for an example, this guy, Castor, our main character, gets a core heart somehow, and he bonds to the material of iron, so he can control iron to his will. And the way that Andrew Gilder like freaks that magic system in this one, chef's kiss, chef's kiss. Quite honestly, right now, and I'm recording to the end of February, this has been the best book that I've read all year. It's called The Raven Scholar by Antonia Hodgson. This was surprisingly my favorite book of the entire year so far. And it's mainly because this book has a little bit of everything. It's like a murder mystery, cool magic system, political turmoil, political unrest, rebellion, a little bit of romance going on between certain characters, uh, interesting point of view changes, and kind of like interesting narration overall. I think, like, honestly, this is just so cool the way Anthony Hutchins wrote this book. It was addicting. It was so addicting. I could not put it down. There were some parts, I did see people talking about how it had like weird pacing issues, and I do have to agree. As much as I loved this book and it's my favorite, and it's like my one of my favorites of the year, I do think there were a bit of pacing issues towards the middle, I think, but it didn't deter the awesomeness. Sorry, it didn't detract from the awesomeness of the book for me specifically. And so this book, amazing in my opinion. Um, it even has factions of certain like houses in this book. And one thing y'all got to know about me is I love cool magic systems. I love cool action scenes, and I love factions and like separation of groups based on specific elements. And so this book has 8 factions based on specific animals, and each faction has their own like type of demeanor, quality, etc., depending on the animal. Like foxes are sly, the bears are resolute, the ravens are educative, the dragons are uh, snobbish and egotistical, and that kind of stuff, right? The monkeys are a bit acrobatic and entertaining and things like that, right? So I love this one. I would highly recommend everybody to read The Raven Scholar because it's just worth it. Don't worry about how big it is. It's just worth your time. So I did read Golden Sun this year, and I read Red Rising last year. I'm currently in the middle of reading Morningstar. I'm on chapter 20, by the way, but I read Golden Sun in January, and I do have to say I really enjoy the pacing in these books because it's just so fast, and you're think something is happening all the time, whether it's introspective moments with the characters, or people are beating the fuck out of each other, or there's political posturing and spies and missions and other things happening in the world. There's always something happening in the world, and I absolutely love that. I think my experience of it was enhanced because I made the read-alongs while I was doing this, chapter by chapter. But Golden Sun was a really, really good book because so many things happened, so many surprising things happened, and people didn't spoil it for me, which was awesome. So when I got to those big, major boom moments, I was like, "This is sick. This is sick." I get why this is a top 5 sci-fi fantasy for everybody out there. Like, I get why the fandom is like this, right? I'm only on book 3, and by book 2, I get it. Well, by book 1, I got it, but by book 2, I really get it. So Golden Sun is really cool as well. I really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to getting through and finishing Morningstar and really seeing like what is this main trilogy really about, and that you'll see from me in March. Okay, so my recording time says 13 minutes, but I'm sure some of it's going to be cut out. So hopefully this video is under 10 minutes. But yeah, I just wanted to talk to you guys about some cool books, and let me know what you've been reading. I'm going to hopefully go and record a podcast now. Bye. Go hit up the End Goal podcast if you want more long form stuff. Peace.